Hello and welcome to another episode of Soul Cooking with T. I'm your host, Tawana Carlson. If anybody joins me live, let me know if you can hear my fan in the background or if you cannot hear me good. Please let me know. I'm trying to stay cool. It's hot here on the West Coast. I'm talking about extremely hot. I woke up and was thinking on yesterday, where am I at? Am I not living in California? Why is it so hot? I'm not understanding this heat. On yesterday we had 100+ degrees, and today is supposed to be another hot and scorching day. So hopefully wherever you are somewhere cool. Make sure you stay hydrated. Eat your fruits, your vegetables. But the main thing is protect yourself when you go outside in the sun. So again, I'm Tawana Carlton. I'm the host of Soul Cooking with T. Today, we're going to talk about my deviled eggs. As I've mentioned before, I'm not an egg eater, but I make sure that, I try to introduce my family to different things. I got to get used to trying to try eggs. I don't know what it is about an egg. I don't know if it's the flavor, the texture. I'm not sure. But I'm going to keep trying every so often to eat eggs. Thank you for joining me live here in Soul Cooking with T. I can't see who it is because I'm going solo today. I'm doing my videos myself, and so I can't see. I don't have my glasses on, but I thank you for those that will catch me live and those that will catch the replay. And if you don't mind, take this time and share out this video with your family and friends. Some of the things I wanted to share today as I was thinking about doing my deviled eggs. Deviled eggs has always been a tradition in our family. Always for holidays, we always had deviled eggs. Like I said, I've never eaten them. I can remember as a child, I never ate them. I would always help my grandmother make the deviled eggs, but I never partaked of any of the deviled eggs. And so it's always been with me not to even eat eggs. I don't know how I was as a child. I'm quite sure I ate everything because my grandmother said I was a big eater. I always drank milk. And that's another thing. I'm having trouble drinking milk. I can eat it with my cereal as long as I have a little sugar in it. I know that's not good, but that seems to be the only way. But I'm going to start trying some new milk, some almond milk. Maybe that will help. If you have any suggestions for me as far as making eggs or tasting different milks, make sure you put it in the feed. I'll take your suggestions. One thing, like I was saying about is growing up, my grandmother always made deviled eggs. It was always for a holiday or special occasions. And then sometimes when she just wanted something different or she wanted some deviled eggs, she would always fix her a small thing of deviled eggs. And so I wanted to come on today and just share another memory that I had from my grandmother. Let me get my glasses because I see I have some remarks. I see some people are watching. So forgive me if I reach over the table. Thank you, Catherine Brundage, for joining me. Thank you, LaWanda, for joining me. Hello, LaWanda. And so as I was thinking about my deviled eggs, and I'm quite sure you can see behind me here, I keep some recipe books, and some of the books are mine, and some of them are from my grandmother. A lot of them I still have in storage, and so I still have to get those out because I still like to go through them. I still like to try new recipes, like to try new things. And so this morning, as I was going through some things and just looking at recipes and just thinking about my childhood and how in the kitchen we had so much fun, and like I said, sharing meals with just family and friends and complete strangers. So one of the things that I found and I wanted to share, and hopefully that you can see, it is a recipe card. These are recipes card, and on the front that gives you the picture of the recipe, and on the back it tells you exactly how to cook them. And so as I was going through quite a few cards, here's another one I'll share with you. What is this one? This is a surprise candy tucking. So it looks like a variety of sweets. So here's another one I'll share with you. And like I said, on the back it has the recipe. Some of you may not be as old as I am. Let's be truthful. And some of you all may have never seen recipe cards. I remember my grandmother would get these with Betty Crocker, Better Homes and Garden. So this was back in the day. Like, these cards are very old. I remember growing up, I think probably junior high, probably elementary school. I remember she used to get the recipe cards. You could also join different cooking clubs, and you would get recipe cards. And I can remember on the counter in the kitchen, it was a brown box and it had a top, and in that box, I can remember growing up, she always had a box full of cards, of recipe cards, and I always wondered, what is those? But as I got older, I got a chance and the opportunity when I'd be in the kitchen, I would ask her. And so I just wanted to share this great memory that I had when I was getting ready to do my deviled eggs. And this is just something that is nostalgic. I love going back, finding things that my grandmother kept in her recipe book. So like I said, I have a lot of the recipe books in storage, things that she wrote down that I still have to pull out because I still have not unpacked. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And I thank you again for those that are joining me live. Let me put my glasses back on so that I can see who's with me again. Again, I'm Tawana Carlton, your host of Soul Cooking with T. Hello, Angela. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Antrice, for watching. Make sure you share this out with your friends and family. Let me wash my hands so that we can get ready to do some deviled eggs. Excuse me for turning my back to you, but I want to make sure that I get my hands clean. So, if you don't mind at this time, just share with me where you're watching me from, and I'll make sure that I shout you out. So again, we're going to do some deviled eggs. So let me get my eggs. Hope that you're having a great day here on this Saturday. Like I said, it's hot here where I'm at, and so we're trying to stay cool. So hopefully you can't hear my fan in the background. If you do, just let me know and I can turn it down some. But it's pretty hot here on the West Coast. Not enjoying this heat at all. Let me get a knife. Okay, so here I've just basically I boiled some eggs, put them on for about 20 minutes, and once they boiled, I took them off the stove. My grandmother always would drain that water off and put some lukewarm water on those eggs when she got finished boiling, and she would just let them sit in the lukewarm water for about 5 to 10 minutes. And what I've learned is that if you keep the eggs warm once you boil them, and once you get ready to peel them, if you run them under warm water, they're so much easier to peel. I've learned that the hard way because like I said, learning from my grandmother, and she sometimes, she just I'd say, well, Mom, let me try that, and she'd be like, sure you know how to do it? And I'd be like, yes, I know how to do it. And so I've had to learn the hard way, peeling eggs. And so a couple of times in my learning process, I would always turn in the cold water, and the shells was so hard to peel off. And so I was like, okay, so I got to watch Mom to see what she does in the kitchen when she has boiled eggs. And so I finally got a chance to eye it out. So now I know use lukewarm water when I'm peeling my eggs. So in this plate, you see I have some eggs here in this bowl. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the inside. My eggs, make sure you let your eggs completely cool before you start to work with them. I made that mistake too growing up. I didn't let my eggs completely cool, and so when I got ready to make the deviled egg mixture, it was a hot mess. I'm talking about a really hot mess. And so had to learn, and that's what it's all about being in the kitchen. It's all about learning. You'll make mistakes. You just learn from your mistakes, and you just keep moving. And that's what I've, learned over the years. I'm quite sure some of the most renowned chefs, have made mistakes, made dishes they had to throw out. And so I've had to do that too. I've made stuff and didn't come out like I wanted it to. And so I ended up having to, throw it away. So right here, Only thing I'm doing is taking out the inside. So I'm going to set this to the side, and that just leaves the yolks. And so in this bowl, as you can see, hopefully you can see it, only thing I did was took the yolks, and now I'm just going to mash it before I add anything to it. No seasonings, no anything. I just need to mash it up. It's up to you about the consistency if you want it chunky or if you want it real smooth. So it's really totally up to you. I have mine kind of in between. And so, like I said, I don't eat it, so I always wait for my family and to let me know about the taste of how the eggs taste. So, doesn't take long. I want to show you. So see here, like I said, I got it kind of chunky. Hopefully you can see it. Okay. So let me wash my hands again, because I had my hands on those eggs. Be very careful when you're handling eggs, because you don't want to get any cross contamination going on. Any cross contamination. Sorry, I was walking away from the camera. I wanted to make sure I washed my hands. Make sure, like I was saying about cross contamination. So when you're dealing with eggs, make sure you anything, meat or anything, make sure you clean your area real good. Make sure you wash your hands, because you don't want any cross contamination. So let me get a spoon. In my eggs, everybody does them differently, but what I do is I got a tablespoon, and I'm gonna start off with 1 good tablespoon of today I'm using Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise. So that's what I'm using today. I use sweet relish, but today in the refrigerator I only had home style relish, which is a dill relish, but I prefer to have sweet relish, but this is still good. I always put just a little mustard, so I only put maybe a couple of squeezes of the relish and mustard, just a little bit. Also going to add just a little garlic salt, not much. And like I said plenty of times before, being from the South, we very seldom, I would watch my grandmother, I watched my aunts, my cousins on the street that I lived on, neighbors, and very seldom I noticed the older women, very seldom you would see them measuring anything. They would always know about I. So I put the garlic salt. I'm going to put just a little seasoning salt. Just a few dashes. Just a little black pepper. And so they very seldom would measure something, unless it was something new that they were trying. Let's take the fork out. So I'm just going to mix this up. You don't want it to be stiff. You don't want it to be running or anything. Now, the only last thing I need to add to it, and I know you're going to say, what? You already put sweet relish. Well, guess what? You only need a pinch. That's about a pinch of sugar. That's it. Just a pinch of sugar. And we're going to get it all mixed up. Oh, it looks delicious. Okay. And as you can see, let me turn it some. See, it's a very smooth consistency. Okay, so now, I know you won't believe exactly what this is. This is an egg tray. So I'm trying to figure out a way that I can put my eggs, when I make my deviled eggs, in the refrigerator, not take up a lot of space. And only thing I can do is just wrap, when I make my deviled eggs, I can just wrap this in for it. So if you have an egg tray, this is from my refrigerator. Like I said, I'm old school. I believe in using what I have. One thing that I noticed, that refrigerators now don't come with egg trays. So this right here is something that I always treasure, because this was an egg tray. And like I said, I use things that was my grandmother's and her mother, and so this is one of the things that I had in our refrigerator, and I still use it today. It just brings back a lot of memories that I can remember going in the refrigerator when my grandmother or my son wanted eggs, and they wanted me to cook an egg, something, or fried egg, or boil some eggs. I can remember this being in the refrigerator with our eggs. So I'm just repurposing it and using it for my deviled eggs. So the other thing here is I have just a plain Ziploc bag. Let me get my scissors. And so what I'm going to do, instead of just taking it out of here and putting it inside the eggs, I'm going to put it in a bag. So I'm just going to make me a piping bag. So if you don't have a piping bag, it's okay. Just cut off the very tip of it, of your bag. Take your egg mixture, put it in your bag. Just be careful that you don't squeeze and it all comes out before you get ready. So I put some in the bag. Okay. I'm just going to zip it up. Just like that. Roll my bag down so that I can figure out, okay, which end. Okay, that's the end I used to cut. And I'm just going to take my egg, just like that. And I'm just going to squeeze my egg. To me, I could get more in my egg this way than me just spooning it in. And I'm just going to set it down right on my egg tray. So I'm just squeezing it in, not compacting it or anything, just like that. Sitting it in the tray. And it's very easy. You can just take toothpicks if you're having an event, or you just making them at home. You could just take a toothpick and put it right inside of it, so that way you can just pick them up and not get the egg all over your hand. So that would be a great thing to add to it. So I'm just going to put this one in. Make sure I squeeze it all in down so that I can get to it. And again, I hope that you're having an amazing Saturday. I want to thank you again for joining me here live in Soul Cooking with T. Thank you for those that will catch the replay. Today we're making deviled eggs. I can remember at so many church functions, so many church meetings, or either community meetings that we would have at our house or in the community, or social clubs. This was one of the staples that they would have at an event. So I get a chance to think about all the memories. Okay, that one tried to slide down on me. Okay, let's push it all down so I can get to it. Ooh, almost finished. And as you can see, it didn't take much for me to put it in the bag. Let me get a paper towel. Just needed one for my hands. And let's put some more egg mixture in. Okay. Right, my bag. Just keeping the egg mixture from going everywhere. Okay. So, let's put them in here so that you all can see. Like I said, it's very simple to make. Just drop them in, just like that. And if you notice, I didn't even taste it because, like I said, I'm not an egg person, and so I just have made them so much that I just eyeball it. Okay, so let me move all this out of the way. Let me wash my hands. Again, thank you so much for joining us here today live in Soul Cooking with T. Make sure you share this video out with your family and friends. We thank you for all your support that you give us each and every time that we come on live. So now the last thing I like to add to my eggs, and it's just really for color, just for presentation. You can add I like to add paprika to the ending, and it just makes it beautiful. You just want to put just a little bit. Now You can also add jalapenos to the top. You can add peppers to the top, fresh peppers, fresh jalapenos. It's just whatever you desire. But today I'm going to add just a little bacon bits to the egg, to the top of the egg. Now you can also do fresh bacon or whatever type meat you would like to add. Maybe you want to add maybe a sausage, maybe some ground turkey. So it's just really totally up to you, you know, what you want to add to the top of your eggs. And this right here, maybe if I move some of this, hopefully you can see it. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the lights. Let me put on my glasses so maybe I can see a little bit better. And so this, and I'll make sure I take a picture and add it to the page. I don't want to dump them out, but hopefully you can see them good. I'll make sure I take a picture at the end. Thank you so much, George Marie, for joining me. Thank you so much, Jacqueline Turnbow, for joining me. Thank you, Tyra, for joining me. Thank you, Kendra, for joining. Let me push this to the side because, like I say, I'm winging it today. I'm by myself. And so if you see me leaning over the table, it's because I have my camera on and I want to make sure that I say hello to everybody that's on with me live. Hello, Robin. Thank you again for joining me here live. Thank you everybody that joined me here live today in Soul Cooking with T. And like I said, this was a staple when you had an event, or when you was going to a party, or if it was a holiday at our house. Deviled eggs was one of those staple things that you would have. And like I said, you can mix anything, make anything to put on top. Like I said, today I just put a little paprika for the coloring. I put just some fresh bacon bits on top. You can do fresh bacon, fresh turkey. It's really up to you what you want to put on top. You can do fresh vegetables, just to make it, you know, what you like and what you like to eat, and make it, and really you can make it a meal, because if you put your vegetables on top, or if you put fresh meat, you know, just a small, you know, sprinkling of meat, whether it's ground beef, whether it's turkey, you know, whatever you desire, you can really make a meal with your deviled eggs, or make a meal around the deviled eggs. And again, I'm Tawana Carlton, the host of Soul Cooking with T. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us here in Soul Cooking with T. So hopefully you're having an amazing weekend. Make sure you stay cool. Make sure you stay hydrated. And make sure that when you go out in the sun that you have on something to protect you from the sun rays. And that you have an amazing weekend. And I'll see y'all next week here in Soul Cooking with T. Have a great weekend. Bye.